Hey there friends, in this video I'm going to show you how to attach the side facing to the Eryn top. It's pretty easy, but not really the easiest to illustrate in an instruction page, so I wanted to make sure I gave you a video to show you step by step how to attach it. So here I have my Eryn top here, and then I have the facing with the drawstrings already put in. They're basted at the top to hold them in place. The drawstrings have come out, channels are made, drawstrings are in them, all of that's good. So as you can see, this side is already finished. This is what it will look like when it is complete. We're going to focus on this side. So we're going to turn your garment like this so that the side is in front of you. And so you should have the whole arch facing you at this point. So what we're going to do, the best way to do this is to start with your facing upside down, whichever way you feel is the right or wrong way. You want to have right sides together. So you want your middle seam here to align with the side seam, and you're going to start pinning there. So I'm going to align my side seam here with the middle of my channels here, and I'm going to pin that in place. So that's the first step there. And let me get you closer so you can see what all we're doing here. So that's the first step here. We're going to make sure the mid seam's attached, and this is going to be upside down because we're going to come around and we're going to bring this up. So we're going to start because we're going to ease in this facing to the rest, and it's going to stretch to fit. So I'm going to attach this here. So we're going to bring the bottom hem, what I just did, brought the bottom hem up to the hem of the facing like this. So bring it up, so right sides together. And now you'll see we've made them aligned so far. Now the tricky part is getting the facing to ease in to the rest of the side area. So we want to start with the top, right? Now you can do this one of two ways. If you want, you can snip this area so that this right angle, like the sharp edge here, you can create a curve. So all you would do is just cut it so that there's a curve here. This would easily set in place. Because I designed this to be simple and it's a zero waste pattern, we can avoid all that if we just ease it in correctly. Either one works. There's no right or wrong way to do it. One's just a little more tricky than the other. So we come here, and all we're going to do is move that corner out of the way and pretend like there's a curve here, and we're going to stretch it to fit. We want to make sure this whole area is flush for when we're sewing. So as you can see, I've stretched it to fit here so that this corner is cut off. And later, if you want to, you can even cut it so that that's not there. It might just be easier for you to cut it if you choose to. And now we can ease in the rest of the facing by pinning along here. And you're going to want to stretch it to fit into place. If you want less stretch here, simply, if you're making a muslin, then just keep that in mind. I would alternate going from top to bottom in your pinning. So I just pinned some of the top, so I'm going to pin a little more here at the bottom until you get in your center area. Make sure they're even. Pin here, the top, and then pin here. And so now your facing and your opening are put together, and we're going to sew around this perimeter. And I'll show you how the best way to do that. Basically, we're not going to sew from this side because this is where our corner shows, unless you decide to trim that corner. We're going to sew from this side so that we can see the distance around along our seam allowance and be able to not mess anything up there. So I'm at my sewing machine now, and I have my facing area attached to the garment here. And so depending on, what hand you use, right or left dominant, I pinned these backwards, so ignore that for the direction I'm trying to go. If I was trying to sew from this side, then I would go here. But again, I'm trying to sew so that I can catch this curve and skip this part. And again, you might just want to trim this. It may just be easier. I like doing it this way because it helps me have a guide of where I'm supposed to sew, and then I like trimming afterward. So again, ignore the pins. I'm going to start sewing here with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then I'll show you how I handle going around that curve. So I'm going to drop down our presser foot. And as you sew, you're still going to want to stretch. Those pins help, but you're still going to want to stretch to keep it in place. And then remove your pins as you go. And then once you get here to this curve, you have this pin here. Take the pin out, keep this held in place. And then, let's see if I can get closer for you here. And then you're going to come around, holding this still in place, making sure to stretch everything. This is our side seam pressed towards the back. We're going over the basted stitching where the drawstrings are now. And now we're coming to the other side of that curve. Removing pins as we go. And keeping this whole area stretched. And back stitch and release our needle. And now we can see we have, let's back up here a bit so you can see. We have our beautifully attached facing to our side, and then we use our drawstring to pull it up. And there we go. So just to give you an idea of how that looks, this is how that side looks here, and it's all cinched up. So now you can move on to the next step.